Hello friends, this is Scott, and we're down here at the homestead, and this is as close as I've gotten to this orange cow, and that's about as good as it's going to get this year, I think. But, the cats, have them over here, and I'm petting them, thinking the cow will see the attention and want some, but nah, they're just kind of hanging out and keeping their distance. But they like to hang out in the general vicinity of me, but well, I made a mistake, and I let the chickens out into the yard thinking, they're not going to do much damage to the garlic. Well, I was wrong. They got in here and they just kicked the crap out of it. And so my garlic is, it's going to be interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and push them back in the ground. But it's a week later. You see how much root development has already occurred. So these garlic are doing well. I just wish they were still in the ground. But I went ahead and pushed them all back in. But this is what they do. This is my oldest chicken, Americana, and they love to dust bathe. So, don't let the chickens out in the yard anymore is kind of going to be my motto for the rest of the season. Unless I fence in the garlic, because everything else is pretty much gone. So the frost has come, as you see as we walk down through my squash patch and my sweet potatoes, the brownish leaves there of the sweet potatoes, along with a bunch of weeds. But I got my sweet potatoes in late because they didn't sprout quick. And I paid the price for it, as you'll see in this harvest. But today is the last harvest of 2025, and it's root crops. I've got a couple neglected areas of garden that I need to get pulled up before it gets any colder. I've got time to get this yard cleaned up, and the leaves haven't even fallen off the trees yet, so I got plenty of time. But this is the mess. This is the totally neglected carrot beet patch. And haven't even looked at these. I don't even know what we got in here. So, this is my first look at the harvest. And again, total neglect. Just let the weeds go. I did not thin the carrots at all. I've had a lot of problem with germination with carrots down here, but we had good germination, looks like. But there's some nice carrots there. So, that's what we got. I just got to dig through this mess, and there's some purple ones too. So I guess those are the two varieties. I've got some Nantes and some purple. So we're going to get in here and got lots of them. So, I need to freeze some of these for winter eating. I'd love to have little fresh carrots with some butter and salt. So it's nice to get this stuff out of the ground. I probably won't do much processing until the weather totally changes because I've got so much outdoor work to do. But once I get shut in the house with cold weather, I'll be preserving a lot of things. But in the meantime, I also have some beets. And you see they're not huge, but there's some beets in here, so we'll see what we get. I picked just a couple earlier in the year, and they were nice size. But there's some good beets in here, and a lot of small ones. But again, when you don't take care of things, I did water it good. I did manage to do that, but this was the one area of the garden, the productive garden, that I just did not get to with weeding and things like that. But just do a little speed weeding and picking and get through this patch, and I'll have to do a much more thorough weeding job later. But right now, I'm just in a rush to get things harvested, get them cleaned up, and get them in the house. And there's some good carrots in there. Again, no thinning, so I'm going to get what I get. But I got through it all, and again got quite a few weeds there to feed to the animals, and got through them, and I got 2 piles. Again, it's not very impressive here. You can't see them with all the foliage, but I'll clean everything up and show you what I got. But there's some nice carrots in here. They're not huge, but they're very sweet. I ate a lot of them dirty, so I just sat out here and snacked because I hadn't had breakfast. So a lot of these smaller ones I just munched on. But they're good, very tasty, very sweet. And again, it did frost, so I think they're a little bit sweeter. But got more cleanup to do. But that's not too much. I want to make one big long bed here, so I'll be bringing in lots of soils and manures and things and make this just one big bed. But there's the weeds that I pulled out of here, and that's what's going to the livestock. Let's see how excited they are. They always come running when I had corn, but as you see here, the cows aren't even, they're not even going to get up. It's not even enough for them to even raise their curiosity. But the horse is always up for something, so I'll probably snake the horse a few carrots too. We'll see how that goes. But right now, just a bunch of weeds, and even the horse is not too excited about it. I think they've been eating a lot of hay, so I think they're pretty full at the moment. But they've kept the pasture down well and getting overgrazed, but it is what it is. Now these are the sweet potatoes again that I planted way late because they weren't, they didn't sprout timely this year for whatever reason. And I paid the price. If I'd had another 3 weeks to a month, I'd had a lot of sweet potatoes. But we don't have any sweet potatoes of any size in here, I don't believe. But I'm going to show you at the end of this video what I did with these, and they were very, very tasty. So anyway, there's nothing going to waste. Immature or young plants are often the tastiest and most tender, and same with sweet potatoes. But yeah, I found little clusters of them, and again, this was the variety that just put all the potatoes right underneath where you plant it, and yeah, that'd be a nice cluster if they would have had more time to mature. But yeah, again, they're going to get a use, and they are tasty. So yeah, I think my granddaughter might even like some of these in a little bit of a treat. But so yeah, finding little clusters, and again, I'm not nothing that's going to preserve, nothing I can keep for the winter. I need to eat these up really quick, but yeah, there's a little bit there. So they're sweet, and again, you pick sweet potatoes after the first frost when the tops die off, and I just wish they had some size to them, but whatever, it is what it is. So I brought everything over to this part of the garden, all the carrots, beets, and the sweet potatoes. I'm just cleaning everything up before I take them in the house, and I'll feed the chickens all the tops and everything, put those in the coop. I have one chicken that's got a bum leg. I don't know what happened. I had let him out, and it was a bit limping around. So something happened when I wasn't paying attention, other than just the garlic getting tore up. So I got to keep an eye on that chicken. Hopefully that one will recover. It's one of the newer chickens. But so there's a 5-gallon bucket full of a little bit of everything, and I'm going to take that in the house and get those cleaned up, and we'll show you a little bit better at what we got. But it was enough to fill the sink up, and I'm just letting everything soak good and get the mud off. And there's a pretty good collection of different carrots, beets, and sweet potatoes in there. So yeah, they'll be tasty, and we're going to give them a try. But there's the harvest all cleaned up. I had quite a few purple carrots and quite a few of the regular Nantes. So got some beets, and again, those small sweet potatoes that I'm going to cook some up today and have them with a special treat that I pulled out of the freezer a couple days ago and unthawed it. So there we go. I got them bagged up, and just this is a temporary bagging, just to take some to Salt Lake. That bag's going to Salt Lake. And the others I'll just stick in the fridge, keep everything moist, so that I can get to them later when the weather cools down, and I have some time in the evenings to spend time cutting stuff up, blanching, and bagging for freezer. So, but here's my treat. That's my Wagyu beef, and you see there's lots of fat. That's a backstrap of Wagyu. So I was going to treat myself after hard days of work, and this is what I'm doing with the sweet potatoes. And I took some of them, just broke them up and left the skins on, and just stuck them in boiling water and put a little butter and salt. And it only took 5-10 minutes to boil. And yeah, but they're tasty. They're really good. And they're just like a little, not a French fry, but they're a nice little treat. So yeah, it'd be nice to have the big old sweet potatoes, but these are easy. You just boil them for a few minutes, and again, butter and salt, and pretty tasty. But there's the backstrap of that Wagyu. And Wagyu has got a lot of good marbling in it, and as you'll see here. So I did a pretty good job cooking it, kept it pretty rare, and you see all the fat in there, and there's a little bit of gristle, as you'll see, but it's tasty. I mean, that's the best cut of meat I think I can have right there. So yeah, I treated myself, and again, just a couple pieces of gristle, but everything else went right down the old hatch. So anyway, well, that was the root crop harvest, and we're done for 2025. Well, thanks for watching this video. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.